Warning: this episode contains spoilers to TV shows, movies, and video games from 2019 and 2020, as well as sensitive topics that we discuss in today's episode. Parental guidance is advised. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first proper episode of the Betatalk Podcast. I am your host, Kieron, or you know me as KT Dude on the YouTubes or Twitter. I am joined here today with Lewi, Leo, and Dan. Introduce yourselves.
Hello.
What's up?
Hello.
Alright, boys. I thought we'd try and do this podcast and talk about the things I could only think off the top of my head. We're gonna start off with something it's a bit of a downer, but I think
In a fun place.
It's a fun place that we know as COVID-19 and how
It's the most spoken about topic.
yes. So basically, how has
I'm dead.
lockdown affected you boys?
Not very much. I didn't have to go to work for like 7 weeks.
I mean, yeah. But...
I mean, same for me.
About
Yeah, I didn't have to go to work for 7 weeks. It's like it's kind of nice. The first 2 weeks felt like a holiday, and then after that,
Yeah.
it's just getting very boring.
Just like,
at home.
it's just like, yeah, I'm running out.
Put on a
of
couple of
things to do.
pounds as well.
You
know
guys
how
are
it
lucky
is.
bastards. I had to
Yeah.
work during lockdown.
How was that? How did you find?
Admittedly, it didn't. It felt a bit not strict, but it felt a bit like different. Not completely, but it just felt a bit different because we
Have you had to deal with like anyone not social distancing at all?
No, not really. It's just people going there, try and get what they need, and just get the hell out as quick as they can. Usually, but in other aspects, like it's not that bad. Like, I mean, now since then we've started to ease lockdown a lot more, and with like places reopen, pubs, cinemas, museums, anything you can think of. We're more able to do stuff together again, like in person, than just like having to do Zoom calls or like Discord calls or whatever. Yeah. To be fair, I say for you lot, it's you guys. It's nice to be chilling at home, but at the same time, it'd be nice to get out of the house.
Slowly getting closer and closer to wanting to die. Hey, good
It's
for
one
you.
weird thing.
Pretty much. It's. I do pray this is over soon, and that because to be fair, we're not as bad as America at the moment. Like,
Well, we just got to stick it out, don't we?
yeah, we just gotta pray. Like Boris wants it to be over by November, and I mean, yeah, I don't know because we do have.
I mean,
season...
I saw somewhere that they predict that there's going to be like another few thousand deaths during. There's going to be like more deaths during the winter. They think.
Yeah,
Than
because
Well, it
have
makes
happened
sense, doesn't
already.
it?
because of the
Really.
cold flus because people getting colds and stuff.
This
So
is
the
doubled
fun-
up.
Well,
isn't it, I
surely,
guess?
like the rate of infection will go up just because it's like normal, like any other flu or anything. It's easier to catch things when it's colder, so I'm sure it will get a bit worse
Yeah,
in the winter.
but other than that, like it's nice to see life somewhat getting back to normal. But hopefully it doesn't. They don't call this the new normal in a way because that I don't know why that pissed me off weirdly.
I mean, I think that the social distancing aspect of things is going to be around for a very, very long time now after this, because it's just so infectious. That's the thing. If one person gets it, you can spread it
you can spread it.
infinitely, pretty
It's-
much
That's the thing, 'cause
however
you
many
can-
people
yeah.
you...
Well,
But you don't even know you have it. You don't know you have it.
you
or
don't
not.
know.
You can be a carrier
like,
without
2-3
symptoms.
weeks.
Yeah.
Or you can just be what's it called?
Asymptomatic.
Yeah.
So you don't get symptoms at all, but
At
you
all,
still spread it
you-
to everyone.
Yeah.
It spreads like wildfire. That's what I have learnt about COVID-19 and all.
But we have reports of there's a woman where I live, an older lady. She actually has COVID. She's tested positive, but she's like walking around still and getting her hair done and stuff, which I think is just ridiculous.
Wait the
like-
2
No
weeks,
one's like
love.
reported
Come on.
to her
Yeah.
or anything.
Wait.
Yeah,
the
she's been
Really?
reported. That's the thing.
Oh, but nothing's
like,
happened.
No, the police around where I live, they're not the best. It's rural, isn't it? It's the same with you guys.
I
which
know
is
it's
where
the same with us.
rural.
Well, that's because there isn't any. There isn't any
Yeah.
police. There's like barely anyone to
Yeah,
actually do any policing.
It's
So, not
It's
great.
a hard
but-
one, isn't it? It's like it's so close, but can't really do anything about it. Like, what's to stop her getting in her car and going to the shops?
She probably has.
Well, definitely has.
That's the thing, you've got to be careful because some people just don't care because they're like, well, I don't care about others. I'm like,
well, it's like literally
shit,
when it was like the first couple of weeks, I went down the shop
mm-hmm.
and this old guy, who was gonna queue for the shop, he just came straight to the front of the queue. But as he was walking up, he just stood like right next to everyone. He was just talking like right in everyone's faces, including mine. I went with my sister as well, so he's just talking to us like straight in our face, and everyone was like backing off from him. And we were looking at him like, mate, what are you doing? Like, and the person at the front of who works for the shop was like, do you mind standing back from everyone because we don't want you to get the disease or spread it? He's like, oh, I don't care. I'm old and gonna die soon anyway, so I don't really give a shit. And everyone was just like, oh yeah, that's really the... And his wife was just like walking through the door while people were trying to come out, and I was just standing there like, you can't be serious. Like, we're in the middle of the worst pandemic we've seen.
Yeah, when we were about 2 weeks into lockdown, we went to Aldi, and they were doing the whole social distance, everything, like the lines on the floor they still have now. But there was this, it was in the freezer section, this woman was like looking in one of the chest freezers, and this guy came and started like breathing down the back of her neck pretty much to like grab the same thing, and she was like, excuse me, could you social distance? And he just literally told us to like go fuck herself, started shouting at her in the shop. He was like, I'm not afraid to hit a woman. And she's like,
whoa.
A 55-year-old woman just saying like, can you respect my personal space? And he's just done and said that. I was like, come on, mate. It's like government are guiding us to do that.
I remember I had a similar thing. It wasn't even that long ago when I was at work. I was by the tills, and this woman, basically what they have is they have like a little table with the little card machine on it, right? And they ask people, give us your trolley with all your stuff in it, we'll scan it all, and then you can pay, and then you can go. And so this woman's standing back from this little table, and some people literally just walk like right next to her, right? She's got like all her mask on and stuff, so she's obviously quite aware of everything, and she's being cautious. And these people just walk right past her, and she's just like, excuse me, like, you do realise we're supposed to be, 2 meters away and stuff. And at first they just like walked straight past her, like they didn't give a shit. And then they turned around when the person on the tilk, and I said, yeah, can we be 2 meters? And they were like, what? And this woman starts saying like, yeah, come on, you just walk like right past me. They're like, oh, grow up, no one really cares, do they? And all this and it's just like,
I get a lot of that in basically for the people watching. I work in hospitality. But like one of our venues that my company has is a pub, and at the moment we're really struggling with things there because obviously you've got regulars who come in, they can't stand at the bar and they're complaining, but you can't do anything, and they don't care. They're like, oh, it's all like a hoax or whatever. And then they try not to social distance, you have to split them, and they get angry, and then they've had a few drinks as well, so it doesn't help the situation.
I'm sure that just...
So we've already had to like kick people out and stuff.
So far, since I've checked like tests and deaths, and like so far cases like they haven't really been going down much, but they haven't really been going up at all either. They haven't like gone for a spike since 2 weeks, which is a good sign, but at the same time, wait till the end of the month and see what happens.
But that's what I mean, because I've seen like the beaches, I've seen what the pubs have been
like.
It
was awful. Where was it? Like,
we could all have it now.
Really, they had the really bad. I can't remember where it was. The beach, and it was literally
Bournemouth.
You couldn't see the beach.
It was
Bournemouth.
The one.
It was Bournemouth.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah.
What's your old Facebook profile picture used to be that archway?
And Durdledore as well. Yeah, which is Lulworth Cove.
Durdledore.
It was the same there.
Someone 3 people jumped off that arch into the sea, and they really hurt themselves. So they had to call the air ambulance out. But they had to clear the beach to get the air ambulance, so they rammed everyone together like sardines to land the helicopters.
You can't see there's so many people on the beach, you can't see the sand, like, at all. There's so many people. Like, they're all just... And it's just like...
But in Bournemouth, they recorded that 500,000 more people were in the county when the beaches reopened.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
like, it's just like people aren't taking any notice of anything that's happening in the world at all. It's so ridiculous.
It's a mix.
But it's unfair on the rest of us who actually did social distance.
Well, that's the
thing.
Like,
we stayed in. We suffered. I stayed in for my 21st birthday.
So did I. I stayed in for my 21st.
Yeah, exactly. Same here.
And the only times I went out was when I had to go to work.
I avoided that. my birthday was yesterday, but I didn't go out because I'm lazy as fuck.
Exactly. Then you've got people who they're going on holiday to Greece and stuff.
Yeah,
Still.
it's just like,
And,
really?
It's
I
like
don't
me and my family were supposed to be going to Greece in September, and we cancelled because obviously, it's quite, we want to enjoy the holiday instead of, having to follow all these.
worry all the time, yeah.
Well, yeah, and we want to have a nice, relaxed holiday instead of being so tense and worrying about these, guidelines and all that.
Unfortunately, mate, it might still be here a year or two down the line.
Well,
I
that's the
think
thing.
it
We can't guarantee.
I just
we'll
think the
actually
people.
be going.
I just think the people. Like, it's like you hear people say, like, I was at work and a woman said to me, "Oh, well, we'll be down to 1 meters, distance soon." And it's just like, I don't know why you're wishing for that. Like, surely you want to stay further away from people to be safer, but obviously you just don't care.
Well, the thing is, the government guidelines are very mixed up because
It's the
people
government.
are saying, yeah, it's 1
and the
meter, but it's
public.
not. It's
1
if
meter
you're
plus.
both wearing PPE, then yeah, 1 meter. So that's if you're both wearing masks. So if I wear a mask and you don't, and you have it, it still means I get it.
Well, exactly.
Masks only protect others from you. That's what masks are. Now they only are just starting to make them compulsory from Friday.
That's the thing. Like, I just
here in UK.
yeah, they're making it compulsory in the shops, right? But Matt Hancock, I don't know what his title is. That's his job.
Yeah.
Worrying all about like medical shit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're not going to make it compulsory in offices, like tight
Offices?
spaces where people get close together. Really? So you're going to make
That's a
it?
bit.
You're going to make it compulsory in one place, but not everywhere. What's the point then?
The government
And why-
in England were just going back and
It's-
forth constantly on
Useless.
things.
So
But it's like as well, if you want to bring this mask thing into place, why wait 2 weeks?
Why-
don't
why-
you
why-
do
Why
this
wait
on
3
why not
months, really?
why now?
Yeah.
Why
When
exactly?
cases
Why
start
wait
to
all
drop
this
down
whole
is
time?
when
I don't know.
there was. To be fair, it's like New Zealand handled this a lot better than we did, and then
I'm fairly
Yeah,
sure
they're
most
fine.
places apart from America have handled this better than we have.
We're the laughing
India,
stocks of the world.
Brazil, not so great.
Well,
But
yeah, but
that-
that's
mate,
different.
India
They
and
have
Brazil,
a far
they're high,
larger
Yeah.
population, so it's a
And
lot
they've got
different.
a lot less money than
And,
we do as a
and
country.
there's a
yeah.
lot more poverty in those countries, so not to say there's
But
not
the fact
poverty
that
here,
we are, yeah, but for the fact that we're one of the highest ranked for like our GDP and all of that in the world, like we're one of the world leaders, and we used to have like the biggest empire and stuff, and technologically advanced, you would think that we wouldn't be suffering so badly.
But
or maybe people rather than cheering Boris on for leaving the country, should ask him why he didn't go to the first 4 Cobra meetings and
It was
he,
eight,
there were
8.
eight
I thought it was
Yeah.
4.
8
He went to
meetings he
8.
missed.
Are you joking me?
No.
Oh my god! And then he didn't want anything to do with the European PPE scheme as well, didn't he? He said no to that. It's just like, really? You're crying about a shortage of PPE, but you didn't want it from Europe, so why are you
Yeah,
complaining?
because we're all about Brexit and wanting to leave the EU, aren't we?
Well, such perfect time.
Mm.
Not really. To get off the side of things with COVID-19, to like, we'll get through it and everything. What, as we've been saying, in any films, TV shows we've been seeing this year that we've watched and we've gone, yeah, it's alright.
TV shows.
Obviously, Rick and Morty.
Rick and
came out on
Morty.
Netflix,
Oh yeah,
didn't
yeah,
it?
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn episode. It's the episode. It's
Dragon
the.
My
Slut
favourite-
episode.
my
Best
favourite episode.
So it's the
It's the
best
dragon
by
episode.
far.
It's
That's
amazing.
What's the dragon's
Oh.
name though, mate? That had me cry.
Oh.
When he said
Balthramore.
Balthramore. Yeah, I said Balthramore.
My name is Balthramore.
Even what about a quick soul bot? And he's just like giving him that fucking hand job gesture.
I'm fairly
He's
sure
like,
that's,
what about a quick soul bot?
that's the guy who voice acted him is Sir Davos from Game of Thrones.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, it is,
I rewatched some of Game of Thrones actually during lockdown.
I was thinking about it. I was thinking about watching it again. Apart from that, well, I probably watched the last season, but
Mate, the last season was sick.
Oh,
Mate, was it though?
actually,
Yeah.
no.
Was it though?
Oh,
Think about it, okay?
was-
Think
it
about
was,
it. Think about
but
it.
Game of-
Apart from like the
all
last
the
like
Starks,
episode.
all the Starks, they got exactly what they wanted, didn't they? Think about it. Sansa is a queen now. She always wanted to be a queen. I, as an explorer, She always wanted to be an explorer. John's 3, so he's gone to the north. You know,
Not
it makes
free.
sense.
They told him. Even though Grey Worm, the person who said, "Oh, you killed Daenerys, now you have to be exiled," he could have just stayed because Grey Worm fucked off somewhere else. So why does he have to listen to him?
No, but he
Doesn't
wanted
make
to
any
be in the
sense.
north. He wanted to be in the north. Do you remember when he's up there with the wildlings with is there a Ygritte or something?
Yeah, but if he fucking
Like
dead.
his girlfriend in real life. Yeah, no, but he loved it up there, so that's where he wants to live the rest of his life with
Okay.
Tormund.
I don't know.
I'll
I
admit
I think
it
they
was
should have just
ru-
not
the
rushed.
season
They
was
should have just not rushed and
however-
waited for George to finish the books.
That was fucking close.
However,
would-
I think it was decent for what they did. Like,
Sorry
how
for-
quick it went.
I
For
would have-
everyone watching, I am also playing Dark Souls at the same
Dark-
time. So if you hear some weird noises,
Yeah,
these
like
boys are
swear
playing
words,
games.
To the stream.
Yeah.
No, sorry, not
for
the
the
stream.
podcast.
The podcast.
Actually, there's a film I went. That's actually my favorite film of the year so far that I went to see in cinemas. 1917. Anyone?
I haven't seen that yet.
See, I
It's
do really want to
so
see that.
good. Honestly, it's by the same director of Spectre and
It's Sam Mendes, isn't it?
yeah, Sam Mendes, and literally it's like a one continuous shot film of like World War One, which is like two soldiers that have to go take some orders to another base that's planning to attack, but they're gonna get like bombarded. So they're
Yeah,
like,
then
I went
it's,
to
it's like
see-
they will get ambushed if they don't like receive the orders, and isn't like one of the soldiers' brother in that company
yes, yeah,
that's gonna get ambushed.
it's
It looks really good.
it's
really good.
amazing. I went to see
I
it
don't think
twice.
it was. I don't think it came out this year, but the last time I went to the cinema, I saw The Gentleman.
Gentlemen, yes. Oh, I went to see that on
That
New Year's
is
Day.
such a good film.
it-
I've
That
seen
is
scenes.
so
from,
It's
good.
so good.
It's so good.
Guy
Charlie
Ritchie.
Hunnam is one of my favorite actors. He's so like underrated, and he's so
Even the-
good.
Even like the first scene in the movie, because they have this shot on the camera where you know you got the hand pulls in pubs.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like the camera's on that, following it. They just look like the whole like, cinematography side of it looks really cool.
It's so good.
And like
Guy
the
Ritchie.
storytelling in it's good.
Guy Ritchie did a good job. Like honestly, I'd like to see
Oh,
some
yeah.
of those style of
100%.
films again. Honestly.
hmm
To be fair, my favorite
Shouldn't-
character in that was the one who was played by Hugh Grant. He played the guy who was like explaining it for like a screenplay, like throughout the whole film.
Yeah,
Honestly, he was probably my favorite character in the film.
it is.
Right,
Really
I'm not
good.
gonna lie to you guys. When did the first the reboot of It come out? Was it 2017?
2017,
2017, yeah.
That's the last time I went to the cinema.
Oh my god.
See, yeah,
I
I'm
haven't
not too
been-
big on the cinema.
No.
either. The only reason I went to see that is because one of my friends from work was like, "Do you want to come to the cinema?" So I was like, "All right." But like, other than
Right.
that, I think yeah, I'd rather just watch it at home. Like, I'm more comfortable because it's like my own space.
I just think the cinema. I get why the cinema is a thing.
Hmm.
I think that how good your experience is entirely depends on the other people that you're in there with. And if
Yeah,
they're
I
like
mean,
pieces
When you
of
go to
shit-
watch Kong Skull Island, you don't want someone retching half.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That's a good story.
We
Oh,
okay.
that was very
I think
funny.
Leo's got to explain this one because he probably has the better explanation of it.
So, when did Kong Skull Island come out? What year?
It came out in March 2017, but we luckily got to see it like a month later because like one of the
Yeah.
multiplexes was still showing it.
Like
Where did we go to see it?
April.
We
went to
went
Swindon.
to Empire.
Yeah.
Empire.
Swindon.
Cinemas. Yeah. So we went there.
Doxing.
It's like there's
Swindon
quite a few of
top.
us, wasn't it, mate? There was like
There was a group.
6 or 7
There
of
was
us. who
quite
went
There,
a
with us,
it was
yeah.
me, Louis, Leo, Dan, and then there were two other mates of ours I do know.
Aiden, Lenny.
Yeah, there's quite a few of us.
Yeah.
quite a
So
few
we're like
people.
watching the film all the way. It's like going really good. We're all enjoying it. And then it gets to this point. I think it's when there's those spiders who like
Oh, the
have the
Oh,
bamboo leg.
yeah, they have like
Oh,
Yeah.
things like bamboo
They like
that.
stab through the mouth and it goes quiet. So
Yeah.
everyone's like, and then you just hear Kieron goes.
So,
It's like the
literally,
loudest wretch.
the whole,
I've
the
ever
whole,
heard.
the whole of
Everyone's
the
looking at
space
us.
is quiet. Yeah. Like literally, you just have to imagine like it's gone quiet because this really gross thing's just happened,
You
and then
hear-
to calm down, and then you literally just hear. So loud.
I don't know how I imagined it. Do you not,
was
Lou? Do you not
gross,
remember
mate.
before like the film started? You and Lenny were like hearing this person going. Eh.
Yeah, yeah. As well, like, what the fuck?
That is like,
That is the best movie quote of all time.
Why can't we? You do the voice so well.
I did it perfectly to you this morning. I
You
sent
did, it
it to
was
you, and I was half
perfection.
asleep, so it was like perfect. Well, for
Oh.
the there's a new Lord of the Rings TV series coming out, now.
and they're resuming
Yeah.
filming because it's in New Zealand.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're looking for weird people to play orcs.
Oh,
Weird
can I
looking
apply?
people.
Oh, how old are you?
Hell
Yeah, can
Kieron,
we-
mate, he could be an iconic orc duo.
Mate, you know in the third Lord of the Rings movie when they're like in Mordor and they're in the orc suit, like they're dressed up
Yeah.
as orcs to like blend in.
Yeah.
And there's that really fat one that's like, get back in line, and he's like trying to like dig through the crowd towards Frodo and Sam.
Mhm.
He's got one eye. That's Dan as an orc.
Mate.
Yeah.
No, Dan's the you know the one that's like, he has a very fucked up hand. He's quite a pale-skinned orc.
Oh, fucking
Oh, what's
And
his
he's-
name?
Oh, I know his name.
He's
Yeah,
like the leader. Yeah, he's like the
Gothmog.
leader.
Yeah.
He,
Yeah,
he looks like
yeah.
he looks what's his
His whole
name? He
face
looks like
has got the
Sloth
clap.
from Goonies. He looks
He's
like
like
Yeah,
Sloth.
pale
yeah.
as fuck. He's
Yeah,
got like
yeah,
jammy
yeah.
hand. Yeah.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, that's Dan. I think that's Dan.
And he's like,
An orc.
whenever he's walking, he's like,
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
the-
remember they launched the
if
the
General
flaming
Grievous from Star Wars was an orc.
they launched like the flaming rocks at them, don't they? And then they start like putting all
He
the heads
spits
of the
on it.
fucking rangers.
Yeah. They're like Minas Tirith, they fire off a trebuchet and the rock's coming and like all the orcs
Yeah,
run
and he
out
just
the way.
spit. Yeah, he spits.
And he
on
just
it.
moves out the way and
Waves
spits on the
slightly.
rock.
Yeah.
War
Yeah, that's when they start
Oh,
launching all the heads
God.
over the walls, don't they? They got all the decapitated heads and they start launching
yeah.
them all. That's Phil. I
You
wish
know
that
what?
was
Did
so young
anyone
as well.
watch Vikings, the newest season?
I
No.
sadly didn't.
Yes.
Oh,
I did.
it
I
was so good. They've
I
left
finished...
it on like the best cliffhanger right
Yeah.
now. Because like one of the main characters
Is that on
has been there
Amazon,
since
is
the
it? Is that on
first
Amazon
yeah,
Prime?
Yeah,
since
it's
the
an Amazon
first
original.
episode.
Spoiler
I won't
alert,
name any
by the
names
way.
'cause it's spoilers. I won't say any names, but one of the main characters is like we don't know if he's dead or not,
Yeah, well,
and it's
the,
like whoa.
the actor who plays said character, he's also like I watched an interview of him, and he was like so happy and thankful that this was like his biggest role he ever did in his career up to this point. But I don't think he even knows whether he wants to continue. But I mean, it would be really. I just want the answer. I just want an answer whether he's alive
Yeah.
or not. I just really want the answer.
It's so strange to me that like actors will have a really big role in a television show and then they just stop acting. You know the guy who played Joffrey, right? That's literally the only thing he's ever been in. And then he stopped acting after he played Joffrey.
Yeah, but he's
in
made a
Game of
load of money on it. But he got a lot
Thrones. I'm
of
sure
hate,
he
mate.
has.
The
I'm
thing
sure he did,
is,
'cause he was a
in some of
fucking
those roles
dickhead.
like that, you get your break, but you play a role so big or a character so hated, you never go into acting again. Look at Anakin, mate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
Hayden
Young
Christensen.
Anakin.
Think
yeah,
of-
well, they're saying
Oh,
he can't
Jake
even go,
Lloyd.
or Home Alone, or the guy from Home Alone. He can't go in front of a camera again.
What about the guy who first played Doctor Who before David Tennant? Because he didn't
Christopher
reappear.
Eccleston.
Yeah, he didn't reappear in anything really after that.
He's got
He
a
did
few
appear-
bits. The
Oh,
thing
he's
is,
been in
to
a
be
few
fair,
shows.
He's appeared in more stuff than
he
like.
said, I'm leaving Doctor Who because I don't want to be known as Doctor.
But,
But he is.
He is
that's
known
the
as a
thing.
doctor,
He's always
but-
known as a. It's a
No,
Doctor,
I mean, he's
think
always
it is.
known as a doctor, but I think for especially probably our generation of people that want Doctor Who, David Tennant is probably the most
The
recognisable
best Doctor, yeah.
Oh,
And the
yeah,
best
100%,
one.
100%.
Like, oh my god, fucking love that man. He's so good.
I remember
He-
it was Doctor Who when BBC Three was actually on TV, like
Back in the
like
day.
Thursday night. It was like 7 o'clock, I think it was.
Yeah, every Saturday at 7.
No, it's Thursday, mate. Thursday was the
No,
new
it was
episode, and they aired it on the
it?
weekend. Yeah, if you wanted
I
to
used
get
to
it
watch it on
straight
Saturday
away,
anyway.
it's Thursday
I
night.
used to watch it every Saturday on BBC
Oh,
Three.
it's so sick.
Oh, it's so good.
What is the best Doctor Who villain?
Oh.
The Weeping Angels.
I don't know what the best one is. I mean,
See, Kieron said the
They're
Angels.
definitely
That's a
creepy.
pretty
They're
good one.
creepy.
They're
Yeah,
creepy.
Weeping
they're
Angels
creepy.
Yeah.
Actually, somebody talked about that because there's a new Doctor Who VR game that came out last year, and like someone was
Oh, really?
talking
That
about
looks
like the
scary
Weeping
as
Angels
fuck.
being in the game, and like
Oh,
saying
yeah,
they want to
yeah.
do like
Oh,
some sort of
no.
AI thing. So if you blink, they move.
bruh, that'd be
And I was
so
like,
scary.
screw that.
Still,
That's
I didn't even
I'm
want to
like,
think
nah, I
about that.
wouldn't even get that. I
No.
was like, nah, seriously, I would
Nope.
not.
Doctor Who
I don't know,
did
because
good
like
job
in
of scaring
terms
me
of,
back in
in
the day.
terms of like, if you actually watch a lot of Doctor Who, they're kind of the Daleks are known as like
The main.
one of the main,
I don't
like
know,
the
and
I'd
main.
say-
Cybermen.
My favourite, one of my favourite Doctor Who episodes, I don't know if you boys will remember, but it's where the Daleks like invade Earth with a prison, like a Dalek prison from the Time War, but they need
Yeah.
like the handprint of a Time Lord to open it. But then
Yeah.
the Cybermen come from that alternate universe
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
But then like Mickey comes back. Remember Mickey?
Shout out Mickey, hell.
Good old Mickey, yeah. He comes back and like
Legend.
they save the day and shit. That's the best one. But I reckon one of the best villains is the Master. Has to be. He's literally the mortal enemy of the Doctor.
Yeah. Well, because I can't remember the lore, but wasn't he a Time Lord
I think
once?
they both are they not?
They're
Aren't they
both
both
Time Lords,
Time Lords? Yeah.
They're both the
Yeah.
same age, I think, as well. I think they like grew up together. But
I
like
can't. I mean, I
they
watched
made
it
the
so long
Master
ago.
more of a weapon to
Yeah.
like bring back Gallifrey, whereas the Doctor's like
Mm.
more of a rebel.
Yeah, I used to have both of their little screwdrivers, mate.
I
Mate,
used to
you're
have
a
everyone
Sonic.
Everyone had a Sonic screwdriver.
Mm-hmm.
Hell,
Did you
Almost
boys
said
ever
fucking
get
light.
Do you remember?
It
like,
doesn't
before
do
video
wood.
games, my thing was I'd always buy like magazines.
Oh
Did you
yeah,
ever
yeah,
get
yeah.
Doctor Who
I
magazines?
Yeah.
I used to get a
Every
lot of
week
those Doctor
loved
Who
the
magazines.
toys. It had the toys, mate.
Oh my
I remember I
God.
got you remember the Scarecrows episode where they had
Yeah.
like those Scarecrow soldiers.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
getting like Scarecrow gloves and a mask and stuff from that. Sick.
Hell yeah.
Kids nowadays, they don't have that. That's the problem.
Nah.
Yeah.
Mate, it was better back in the day. It really was.
Kids nowadays want Fortnite skins.
uh,
They just wanted Doctor Who
please.
magazines.
Please
Doctor Who
don't.
magazines, mate.
Magazine, yes.
I mean, I can't lie. There was a time where I'd play Fortnite religiously, but
Same.
Yeah.
I just now.
Season
I,
one of
now
Fortnite, I
literally
like.
Played it
couldn't.
because everyone else did.
Yeah, I
Then I stopped playing it.
played up to like. No, I can't. It just got like there was so much stuff they were
Flashbacks.
adding, and I was like, I can't bother for it. It was so much simpler when it was just killer be killed.
Speaking of games,
Kill Hobby
what favorite games have we been playing this year that we thought, yeah, it's alright?
Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Very good
yes,
game.
yes.
Insane. I need to.
I got it
I
a
am-
lot later
did
than everyone
start
else.
a second
I am
playthrough
so
on that.
glad that EA did not
I
like
got it last Christmas.
get in the way of Respawn making this game.
Christmas.
Honestly, I genuinely have the same kind of hope for the new Star Squadrons this year,
Hmm.
but I'm really hoping EA does not screw this one up again as well, because like they
But
did.
how
don't
long
know.
do EA have left on their agreement to make?
I don't think it's that
Star
long
Wars
because they got
games?
really
Yeah.
annoyed at them when they did Battlefront 2 and there was
Yeah,
obviously
well,
a
yeah,
massive
that was-
uproar.
I mean, Battlefront
Yeah.
2 is good now, but when
It's
it
good
first
now.
I
came
think
out,
they've got
but
a year left. I think it's one more year before they need to renew it, but I don't think they will.
I
I think they've lost
I
a
don't
lot of
know.
money on the Star Wars games because they fucked them up at launch.
yeah,
Well,
they
yeah.
did.
Just
I don't
'cause,
think
yeah.
Disney are very happy with like what they've done as well. Because obviously, like fucking up the game at launch has made
Big no-no.
Star Wars like a bad name. Yeah.
Star Wars is
Disney
now
will
Well, I mean, the
about
films
that.
did that, but you know.
Oh, they've
I know.
considered the films now to be not canon.
Wait,
Yeah,
Disney
they've,
have.
What the
they've,
new one?
Yep.
Yeah, they've
Well,
retconned them. Well, they're going. I don't know if they have. Or they're,
What? No.
Force
Really?
Awakens
they're
was-
Straight
in
out
talk-
said it's not
yeah,
canon.
no, they are genuinely thinking about it.
When are they bringing Starkiller back to being canon?
Yeah. Wait.
Oh,
when
Starkiller.
was he actually-
Starkiller
Yeah, he
was
was.
too OP though.
Yeah,
was he
mate.
canon?
Yeah, he used to be.
Really?
I'm pretty certain he did. Yeah.
Mad.
I tell you
Legend.
what, I'm
They
looking.
shout out Star Wars.
Talking about
legends,
Star
mate.
Wars, I really want the second season of the
A
Mandalorian. To
Mandalorian.
come out.
Mandalorian,
I actually-
yeah.
I actually
Such a
enjoy.
good show.
I enjoyed the first season.
I should
of
cancel
Mandalorian.
my Disney Plus.
Oh,
That's the only thing
Oh,
I
you
watch.
shouldn't, dude. You shouldn't.
Mate, there's
I
Marvel
only
shows
watch The
coming out this
Mandalorian.
year.
No, I don't
there's still
care
Marvel
about
shows coming out this year.
I don't care about Marvel. That shit's so overrated.
Like honestly, like the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I said it. I
Oh.
fucking said it.
Oh,
What,
no.
Mandalorian's overrated?
No, I
No,
said
no,
I said Marvel's overrated. Overrated as fuck, mate. Come on.
I
Come out with that
mean,
shit.
I
Can-
can see where you're coming
Stan's
from.
gone now, mate.
Rest
Yeah,
in
he's
peace,
gone. Rest in
Rip
peace, my
Stan.
boy.
Only said he was 18.
Set it on the profile.
Thank you, memes like
I
Me
hope
and Jess
some-
dated this guy when my missus used to work at there's like a telecom firm as the finance person there. I used to drive her to work every morning, and there was a guy who looked exactly like Stan Lee who used to like sit outside the Ford garage every day, like when we drive up. So we just
Lol.
called him like old Stan Lee, but now you can't call him old because Stan Lee's dead. I haven't seen this guy for ages though, so maybe it was actually Stan Lee. You never know.
maybe.
Well,
Maybe we've seen
in
him
the
a bit
Marvel, I think it was in like the comics and the MCU that Stan Lee was supposed to be like, he was shown as like just like this immortal being who could cross infinite timelines and all this, because obviously he was the creator of it.
It reminds me of the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, where he's like cameos as like a spaceman who's just kind of sat and
Yeah,
lost.
he's just in an astronaut suit trying to talk to these weird, big-headed looking space dudes, and he's like, he talks about like
He's like trying to tell
he used
stories.
to work for FedEx or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then obviously there's a cool cameo in Civil War where
Where he works as
working
a FedEx.
he's working as FedEx because he's shipping he's delivering something to Tony Stank.
Tony Stank, boy.
Don't get me
Big
wrong.
up Tony Stank.
I'm not saying that the films are bad. I'm just saying like people who cried and were screaming at the screen at the end of Endgame are just taking it too far.
Oh, God damn it.
I mean, I can actually no. To be fair, that was the one time I enjoyed the audience.
I wasn't
was
screaming,
for Endgame.
but I did cry.
I
did
was
cry when
shaking.
Tony died.
I was shaking.
Sen.
I was a bit
I haven't
shaking.
even. You know what's even more funny? I haven't even seen it yet, but I know everything that happens in it. So, lol. I have no interest.
Let's get back to
I'm
games.
not bothered.
Dan,
James, right.
Dan's just the black
So,
sheep of the group,
For
isn't he?
Honor, season 4, year 2, season
Oh god, here we go.
2, I think it is.
Knew this was coming.
They've actually remastered my favourite hero in the game, which is Centurion. And he is absolutely beast now. I will
He is a
say,
beautiful specimen on
Dan,
that game now.
obviously used to be really against Front, but he's re-downloaded it the other day, right? You've seen how
was
far
enjoying
it's come
myself.
since release. Like,
I mean, it was. I mean,
Since-
it's not that hard to come far
Peer-to-peer.
since release because it was utter dog shit when it came out,
so you had the peer-to-peer
Peer-to-peers
issues, everything like
and all
that.
this
Yeah.
shit.
Shitloads of new heroes, new content, and reworks, fixes. It's like actually a really nicely polished game now. It's just I think Ubisoft are going to drop it.
Oh, probably.
Because,
Got other stuff to do now.
Yeah. What do
Well,
Ubisoft
yeah, they've
have
got
coming out?
they got Assassin's
Watch
Creed
Dogs,
Valhalla,
Watch
Far
Dogs,
Cry 6,
Legion.
Watch Dogs Legion.
Which actually
See, I
looks
don't
quite cool,
think,
but
I
I'm
think
not
the
getting my
only
hopes up.
Ubisoft game I'm looking forward to is the Assassin's Creed one.
I'm not looking forward to
Far
the
Cry,
Assassin's
I
Creed
think
game.
now is like a really dead franchise.
I
It's the same
don't
thing
see-
every time.
Yeah, well, I was saying that to the guys the other day about, especially with like Assassin's Creed, they don't actually have like just a normal protagonist anymore. For some reason, in the new one, like in Odyssey, you could choose between being a male and a female, right? But in the
Yeah.
new one, apparently you can just swap between genders in the middle of the game.
Mate, that's like Assassin's Creed Syndicate though.
Yeah, but why? No. I'm not saying they're not two separate characters. They are the same character, but you can just swap gender. Like you are the same Ivor or whatever he's called, but you can just swap gender while you're playing the game. And no,
Okay.
I'm not sexist or anything. I just don't see the point. I don't see why you need to do that. Like
Maybe
pick
see
one
like
and be one.
sometimes you get like a sick armor, but it just doesn't look good on your character. So maybe the gender change will make it look nicer. I don't know. Sort of aesthetic, isn't it?
I don't know. It's just like you used to have like an actual main protagonist who, like Ezio or someone. But now it's just I don't know.
Yeah, but games
Not for
nowadays
me.
have become a lot more like trying to keep with current like.
Yeah, I
politics
guess, which is
and stuff.
fine. It's fine. I'm just like, I don't know.
It's like the whole Battlefield
Very
5
nitpicky.
scenario though,
Oh,
where
God.
in the trailer they had
Woman
Woman
with
was like a-
prosthetic leg
yeah,
or something.
amputated, like yeah.
And everyone got a bit
Whatever.
like, hold on, like what's
Because
this?
it's not historically
Well, it's not
realistic, and that's
historical,
what
but-
Battlefield is known for.
No.
Well,
That's why it
Yeah,
flopped
well,
pretty much,
exactly.
isn't it? Like,
well, you can make a World War II game and just be like, yeah, this is not based really on World War II. Like it's World War II, but it's not accurate,
An alternative.
which
World
is what
War
they said
II.
afterwards. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Kieran's got it.
Um,
But they didn't do that. They were like, this is a World War II game, so we're just gonna have women with cricket bats and prosthetic legs everywhere.
I feel like
It's
video
just like-
game companies now get targeted by people who like, oh no, there's not enough. Like they
I thought
want to
that
make
was gonna
everything
say cricket
equal.
bats as prosthetic legs. Can you
Yeah,
just imagine that?
Honestly.
No, it's just with these
yeah.
with the video game companies, they get pressured because they're like, you know, we need females in the game. We need to make things
Crazy
like color
third-way
and
feminists up in this bitch.
things like this shouldn't be forced.
Yeah, but it's fine. It's fine to a certain.
It's fine,
degree.
but it shouldn't be
Like,
forced.
just don't go overboard. Like when you're forcing
Yeah.
it, you can tell, and it
You
takes me
can-
out of the game. Like changing your character's gender, not ginger like Kieran,
Oi!
gender. You know, that would really take me out of the game because that makes no sense. Why would you do that? Like what? Like apart from appeasing all the crazy third-wave feminists in the world, what's the point?
Yeah. It's a bit.
This is what it does. It appears to male fantasy.
Oh god.
Is that a relevant meme for this? I don't know.
It
I mean,
probably
Kieran's
is.
definitely gonna get blacklisted by like
Yeah.
30-year-old Karens that are gonna come into his comment.
Oh
Let's
my
don't
god.
talk
Don't,
about
Good-
Karen. They don't like
don't
being
get me
called
started with
Karens.
what I've, people now getting
Oh,
offended at
okay.
being called a
What's
Karen.
What? Yeah, but it's a name. How is it offensive?
You're further
I mean,
proving
My
my
mum was
point.
offended by me calling her a boomer.
Okay, boomer.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, I was like, okay, boomer.
But like, no, it's one of these things where you'll put him in a group and they don't like to be seen that way because they go into a shop and decide to throw a hissy fit for no reason when someone's asking them to appear.
Trying to do
Like,
their
honestly,
job.
some of the videos I've seen have been.
Oh, can we
ridiculous. It's just-
clip that autistic screech from Kieran?
Yeah.
I think I need that in my life.
Yeah,
I need
it's
to get
like
a soundboard.
it's like Dan seeing the videos and you're like, my god, some people should have
It's
just.
just like really like this woman's like sitting in her car. She just starts like literally screaming, like not even saying anything. She's just like.
Do you know? It just makes me wish that some people out there should have just swallowed. Honestly,
Kieran going in the flame,
Man, son.
the fire.
I'm just telling you how it is.
Louis, what games have you enjoyed this? Obviously, you've recently got a PC.
Oh,
So,
I
like, what
have,
have you
yes,
enjoyed
I've
playing
joined
on
the, well, as
PC
they
nerds. Don't say
quote
it, don't say
unquote,
it.
Louis can maybe YouTube
No.
content.
Dan's
What?
Don't even say it, mate. Don't say it.
Don't say it.
well,
Don't say
I've
it,
joined the
don't think
PC
it.
gaming community.
There you go.
Oh,
I'll accept that.
Master Race.
He tells me
Carry
not
on.
to say it, and then he says it himself. Like, what a hypocrite. Anyway, yes, I've recently joined the PC gaming community.
you say that so carefully.
I do in games that I on PC I've always wished were like when I was playing Xbox all the time. I'm like, I really wish I was on Xbox because I could play it. And obviously, you know, PCs are quite the tad more expensive than the consoles these days. Well, depending where you get them from. But yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. It's quite ironic because I was all about like, oh, I'm just gonna play every game I wanted to play that I couldn't on Xbox, and I'm now playing games that I could not play on my Xbox, but just on PC. So
Lost them boys.
I mean,
Yeah.
you haven't lost me because
You lost them.
I've you know, like Modern Warfare and stuff like that. You know, very up there popular relative games at the moment that us boys play all the time. I'm gonna play on PC. I'm not gonna even bother getting it for PC.
I may move.
Uh,
Well, we'll have to see, but I may move on to
Speak-
PC when there's no COVID, and I know that I'm not gonna have there's not this chance. of
just
a
make
second
sure you get
wave
the
of
right
having it
specs and
anywhere.
everything. Speaking of Modern Warfare, Warzone, what are we thinking?
I love Warzone.
You know what? I actually
Becoming
think it's.
dead as fuck.
I think it's actually not
No,
about
no, no,
battle royale. just for the fact there's a second chance to, right, you screwed up, but you got a chance to get back into the game by going into the gulag, try and kill someone, and then get back into the game.
It's really good.
I think it's got,
But it's actually
yeah,
surprisingly
it's
fun.
just
It needs
the amount.
it needs an update soon.
It
'Cause it's getting
does.
really
Yeah.
stale.
It
The
will.
same, it needs a new map.
New
maybe some
map, very necessary.
New physics or something that could happen. Like,
Did I make?
let's
yeah,
say
I did
you
get
could get, I don't know.
So you have like
Like-
the fire sale and things like that, but they
Yeah.
didn't really mix it up enough. And yeah, they have modes
it
like
doesn't happen
plunder,
enough.
but that's not really. Well, like, it's fine saying yeah they have all these other game modes, but it's not really like a battle royale because you're infinitely coming back into the game. So in terms of like the actual battle royale mode, I think they need to somehow switch up a bit
Change.
more
Yeah.
because it's getting really stale really quickly, and everyone just uses growls all the time. So there's no
I mean, the
variety.
growl got nerfed.
Wait,
I don't use the growl.
It's so funny. Yeah, they said the
It's not
growl
no,
got
they,
nerfed,
it's not
but
nerfed.
it's not. It's
exactly
no
the
different.
same. It's exactly the
Is it?
same. You still
Yeah,
murk with it. It's disgusting.
Yeah,
still.
everyone
It's still the
uses
best thing.
it. There's no.
Like, so,
no
I can't remember
difference.
who said it, but someone said the other day, like, everyone's just so used to using the growl, they don't know that there's any other good guns.
Yeah,
I
so
guess
I
that
said
could
that.
be.
It's because
Yeah, you said it, didn't
everyone's
you? It's
watching the
true.
YouTube videos saying like all the YouTubers, all the streamers, they all use the growl, and people forget that there's other guns. So for example, myself, I don't use the growl anymore at all. I use the MP7, and as soon as I switched to the MP7 and found like a class setup that works for me, I'm now consistently getting like 6, 7, 8 kills. Whereas when I had the growl, I'm getting like 3 kills.
I know, I always used to
Yeah.
destroy when I put
I'm
the
getting
growl on,
more
but like you
wins
said, I
when
think
I've got
it's.
the MP7.
Well,
Like-
yeah.
Yeah,
just-
see, me and Ewan started. I started using the M13,
I'm using the M13 now.
Yeah,
and
the
yeah,
M13 is a
it's
solid gun.
such a
That's the thing.
such a good gun. It's unreal. If you got the right attachments on it, you can make that thing a laser beam, and you're just
But
gonna
all the
hit
guns are quite
consistently hit
good.
shots.
Like you got like the PP Bison is another one that everyone hates on, but it is
Well, I
absolutely
just-
amazing. You get like an 80 round mag on a submachine gun.
Yeah, it's like you
Oh,
can't
no,
really
it's
complain about
180.
that,
I
can
think
you?
it's just a very very huge mag. You can't complain
I
about
just
it
think
at all.
for it does have a few problems. For me, well, the TTK or time to kill is very fast, and that's not a problem. The big problem is the audio is absolute shite. So you can never hear when someone's running up to you.
Actually, that's
So-
an issue.
You die extremely quickly, and you'll literally just be chilling, and then suddenly someone is right behind you, and you're immediately dead because you never heard them coming.
The thing is,
Yeah.
the
Which-
audio, the footsteps are very faint. They're very,
Well, it's
very
'cause
faint.
They basically,
even when you're
basically-
sprinting.
there is lots of things calculating how, like how loud the footsteps are. To my knowledge, the game is not using 3D or binaural audio because it doesn't sound 3D.
Have you
I think.
have you boys
What?
heard that the next COD has been leaked?
It's apparently supposed to be
Someone-
Cold War or something like that.
It
Oh.
was Black Ops CIA or something.
Yeah,
like
some,
that.
Oh god.
So they're
They
basically.
did a
some
COD
I'm
people-
surprised they
That's-
haven't
that's
actually
literally
revealed
did
the
a
new
COD
COD yet.
remastering the first
Black
Black
Ops 1.
Then.
Some
Yeah.
people cracked into the alpha on Xbox, and they can get to like the main menu on it, and it's
Ahoy.
basically like Call of Duty Black Ops CIA. It's called, but apparently the battle royale on there is rumored to have Fortnite-like building mechanics, which I think. is
Oh, I don't want it. That's why I'd never
No,
really
see, that's-
got to grips
that's-
with Fortnite.
Yeah, see,
Nah.
that's,
Yeah, it
that's
makes
why I
it
couldn't
unique,
get along
but I
with it.
just didn't like it because it just, you start shooting someone and they immediately build a whole fort around them, and yeah, it's different, but I never really liked it personally.
I always preferred PUBG to Fortnite because
PUBG
was
was
like, the
more
big one
fun.
around at the time.
I just
I-
think, I think I've said
Ooh.
this to you before, Leah. My problem with PUBG was that it just ran like absolute cheeks.
I have
Yeah,
a funny
it
story.
ran really the port to Xbox. was so bad.
did on
Awful.
Xbox.
I was excited for it.
Yeah.
Actually, I do have a funny story to tell with PUBG because I've had my experiences of getting fucked over up the ass. But
You've
basically,
had, yeah, can we
It
clip
is.
that? He just said he had experience of getting fucked up.
Getting
Yeah,
fucked in the ass.
clip that.
Hey
We kept
man, whatever floats your boat, bro.
no, I literally getting my
Feel you.
ass handed to me in PUBG. But I was playing with my mate Seb, and we were playing like a game of PUBG, and it was like me, him, 2 other mates, and we were like, I think we run up to this building, and we were playing on PC, and it was that we like I decided to walk into a building by myself while they were like searching other buildings, and like I just saw
You
like
got cream.
no, literally, I saw a whole squad in there. So it's a 1v4, alright? But basically, instead of like my reaction being like, "Oh shit," and like ducking and hiding, I just somehow had curiosity to go ew, and then just start gunning them all down, and I'm pretty sure I'd gunned down about like 3 of them, and then I got down by the last one, and then I think like Seb killed the last one. But my reaction, instead of like shitting myself, I was just like, ugh, scum.
Lol. Rebel scum.
Rebel scum indeed.
Rebel scum.
Lewi, a game that we both played, Doom Eternal.
Oh, baby.
Doom Eternal.
Oh, that's a game I could. That's a game I could talk about for ages.
Doom Eternal.
The thing is though, like I pre-ordered it and I played it and I just wouldn't stop playing it. I was just so into that game. It's so good.
For me, I played a mission and then I stopped and then I come back and play another mission.
Yeah, and then Kieron, I was like, oh, Kieron's pre-ordered it as well. We can get to talk about it and stuff. And I completed it like probably a day or two after
for some reason.
I got it.
I'm stuck on a
campaign
level.
anyway.
It's glitched for me.
I was like, Kieron, yeah, you completed it, and I was like, oh my god, it's so good. And then Kieron was just like, dude, I've only just done the first mission. I was like, what? You haven't.
I took my time.
And I just wanted to talk to him about it.
Honestly, like
So
I do know the ending.
don't
I haven't
spoil it.
completed it yet, but I do know the ending. But it is good. Like I do enjoy it because it's so much more. There's a lot more enemies. There's a lot more bosses. There's a lot more weapons you can use.
Well, I did play the first one. I never.
And it's
completed
so much.
I
It's
really
better than the
want to see
first.
what they're gonna do for the next one because, like,
It's
obviously they dropped Mick. Is it Mick Gordon?
Yeah,
The,
they
the
dropped
original guy
the
did the
composer
music.
because like
which is so
shit,
Very
yeah,
dumb.
the music.
was got.
One of the
Apart
biggest
from the
parts of the
story,
game.
yeah, it's like the most fire fucking part of the game.
Copyright.
And they've decided to drop the dude. I mean, I don't know if
They
to
dropped.
leave.
They dropped him because like he was taking his time making the music, so because they would demand him to get it done as soon as possible.
Really?
Yeah, so
Well,
he
that's
just went screw this.
The thing is, it's like, yeah, fair enough. But that's generally how it is in most industries, especially when you're scoring something. Like they're not hanging about. They want you to do it.
They want to make sure the composer want to make sure it's perfect. Something that the gamer will be satisfied by, like us, for example. Like if you can't have it, if you can't have him, you don't deserve him at this. So you don't deserve him for his. But yeah, Doom Eternal was a seriously good game. But to be fair, the reason why I wasn't playing much of Doom Eternal as much as because I was playing another game that came out on the same day. So I know you boys are gonna be like,
What's
But
that?
Animal Crossing, New
Animal
Horizons.
Crossing, yeah, I knew he was gonna
Oh,
say
God.
Animal Crossing. To be fair, that had a social It had like social media stardom. Like everyone was playing Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
And
I've never played an Animal Crossing game.
I'm not.
I
recommend it.
quite
I'm
good.
not
I've got
very-
Animal Crossing on the DS.
I'm not a Nintendo person. I will admit. There's a
The
very
only
few
Nintendo
games
game I
on
really
Nintendo
like
that I
is
like.
Super Smash Bros. And that's
Oh,
probably
yeah,
about
Smash-
it.
remember Mad World? Mad World.
Oh, mate,
on
oh
the
my
on the
God.
Wii.
On the Wii, mate.
Me and Dan. Oh mate,
Oh
that
my
game
God.
was
That's
so
so
good.
underrated.
It's
So
such a
underrated.
good
Nobody
game.
talks about
I
it.
brought it for like, oh god, it was like, it must
I
have
got
been
it
like,
for like 10
10
quid or something.
Yeah, I got it like 10 years ago. I got it like 10 quid, and
So
I have a
good.
very embarrassing,
most
horrible
underrated
story
game
about
ever.
me playing that game.
What's that mean?
Sorry?
It's the most underrated game ever. Is Lord of the Rings Conquest.
Is that
It
the
came
one
out on-
you started to get me to
It's-
play and then we just never played it?
No. Basically, this is back when I first ever got Xbox Live. So when I got Xbox Live, it was like World at War, like Mod 2 days.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when those games were out. And I picked up a game called Lord of the Rings Conquest, and it's made by the same people who made the original Star Wars Battlefront games. So
Oh, really?
think about that, but it's Lord of the Rings. So you've got like your classes, so you've got like your
Oh, yeah, I remember.
your
yeah, I remember you
warrior,
telling
your
me about this.
archer, your scout, and your mage.
Yeah.
And then you've got like all the factions, so you've got like orcs, and your heroes, you've got like Sauron, Saruman, Gandalf, you can even be Frodo in it. It is such a sick game, but the servers were hosted on EA, so like by
They
the
just-
time I'd got it, it had been out for like a year and a bit, they just shut the servers down.
Oof.
However, I think if you
Frodo
buy it
the
on
Bum
PC, there will be somewhere
Cum
that will
Lord.
host the Cum Beast.
Frodo the Cum. I don't know why I said that.
The
My
Cum
autism's
Lord.
Amazing sometime. Frodo the Cum Lord. That's gonna be my new fucking. I might have to change my
Sam.
Steam
Frodo
name
the
to
Cum
Frodo
Lord.
the Cum Lord.
Will you be my
Shit.
Sam?
Fucking.
Will
Oh
you be
shit.
my
Fucking.
Sam?
Though, but Animal
Oh
Crossing,
god.
though, like, honestly, that is a good game, and I'm glad that they're updating it, so it's actually worth coming back to every now and again. Like, to be fair, what I actually love the fact Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing both released on the same day, and literally the fact people were comparing them together, like crossover and stuff, and like even
Oh yeah.
on Doom's
what was it,
Twitter.
Doom Crossing or something? I can't remember
On
what
yeah,
it's called.
on Doom's Twitter, like they
Or
were actually
Animal
like
Doom.
tweeting back to like Nintendo saying like, what game are you excited for? Animal Crossing New Horizons, and like before they reveal one of the villagers for like the game, they literally like were like, can you bring back like Isabel, please? And I was like, oh my God.
They made a didn't they make like a joint video which was like, it was like the Animal Crossing characters like in a band playing Doom Eternal music. I saw a video on it on Facebook and it looks so jokes.
It might be I think some, I don't know if it's official or someone might have made it or might be fan made, but it was, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Is
Yeah.
I
You
do
guys
love.
talk about all these games. I've barely bought any games this year. I think the one big triple, because Jedi Fallen Order was like Leo said came out last year. I think this year the only AAA game I've actually bought is one I literally bought a couple of days ago, and that's Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, Dan, what's your thoughts on that?
Apparently, it's really good.
Yeah,
It
I've seen
seems
some gameplay.
yeah.
It looks really good.
I'm not really good at it. It kind of feels like it's not as hard as something like Bloodborne or Sekiro or anything like that. But it's kind of in that vein, and I'm trying to play the game like Bloodborne, and I'm getting fucked up for the cart. They kind of like, obviously you're a samurai. I'm not really going to talk about the story because I've literally barely played it. Shit goes down, and you're kind of supposed to be really patient with how you play this game. And I'm trying to play it like Bloodborne, and I get fucked up for the clout, and I keep dying. So I've taken a little break from it. I'm going to start playing it, but it looks so good. Like, such a pretty game. My massive, like, 55-inch 4K TV. It's just like, holy shit.
Oh, Dan had to
Absolutely
slip his
incredible.
fucking flex in there.
Yeah, flexing on the TV.
Flex.
I reckon
Hell
if
yeah.
we made like continuous YouTube videos all the time, we'd have like a good few bloody Dan flex.
Dan flexes.
Yeah, I mean, I need a buy.
Can we have a Dan Flex warning when he says that?
Yeah, Dan Flex.
Yeah, yeah. Can we get like an alarm noise of Dan flex?
I do accidentally flex quite a lot on the
It ain't
boys, I'm
accidental,
not
though,
gonna
is
lie.
it?
No, it's
Nah,
it's
he's-
purposeful.
He knows he wants to flex.
The other day, so how much money do you have in your bank, Kieran? Because I definitely have double. Alright.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, I asked.
sorry.
No, I
You're
asked.
saying
I
that.
asked
You're
Dan.
saying that he had said, oh, you know, this is like the most money I've had for a little while. Fair enough. And then and I was like, oh, Kieran, and I basically was chatting shit because I'm like that.
To be fair,
And he was like, oh, well, I bet you don't have any money, Dan. You just spend all your money on shoes. And I was like, that's not true. And I just massively flexed. And then I felt like a massive cretin. Straight
to be
after
fair,
it.
to be fair, like I managed to make more money since lockdown. So, no way, thanks COVID.
But I respect
You're
the
not
hustle.
going out every night, Kieran, that's why.
No, there you
That's
go.
true.
You're not going out.
To be fair, like I'm excited for Cyberpunk 2077 later this year.
Yeah.
Maybe November,
everyone is.
but
I think everyone's.
I pray
yeah,
it doesn't get
everyone's-
too overhyped because even I do feel like it's
Well,
starting to get its overhyped now.
It's starting to get overhyped, but I generally think I'm more hopeful due to the fact that they've delayed it twice. So they obviously. give a
They
shit
said the
about
game
how
was
the
ready,
game
but they
launches.
said like they
was-
feel like there's
they-
not enough in there, in a way.
Well, they're trying to add some stuff, and I think they're just like fixing bugs and stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to be a relatively big game, so they're just trying to.
I did actually watch a video on it, and the one of the main guys at CD Projekt Red was interviewed, and basically he said that the main quest is so big that you can actually finish the game without completing the main quest. because there's so much to do in the main quest that you can actually go through the whole entire game trying to do the main quest and complete the game, and then have to finish the main quest after you've completed the game because it's just such a big quest. And he also said that they don't even have like a definitive answer on how long the game's actually gonna be.
That sounds cool and all, but I'm just hoping that doesn't. So obviously, a lot of games in this kind of genre, you have a main quest. So you take like Skyrim, right? So you have Skyrim, you have the main dragon plot line, and then all of the side quests. But the problem with me with that is, you say it's so long. I don't want that to take away from the main quest and kind of make it seem like there's supposed to be urgency in it, but you're doing all this other stuff around it. If it's not like extremely connected, it just kind of makes it pointless.
Yeah.
So like,
I just don't
like
want it to be like an Assassin's Creed Odyssey, because I do love that game, but
it's just
it's
too
like,
much. It's too
yeah,
much.
it was way too much, and it's too big a map with too little to do in it. So I mean, like, the
But
main
so-
quest could be huge, yeah, but what if they've not got shitloads of side quests every like 50
So
meters, let's say?
I don't even mean that. I just mean more so like the fact that you're doing so much other stuff means that you lose the urgency of the main quest. Like in Skyrim, the world's gonna end, Alduin's gonna, destroy
Devour
the
the
whole world
world.
and all
Yeah,
shit.
everyone.
But I'm gonna go and do the Thieves Guild, the fucking companions,
Yeah, I'm gonna
the
just rob the
mage
people real
quest.
quick.
I'm gonna do all this other stuff before that, and you lose all the urgency of.
Well, in
Dragon
Skyrim,
Quest.
I mean, you don't even need to be a Dragonborn in it. Like, you can just
No,
do
you
everything
don't have
else.
to do that quest.
No.
But then that kind of takes away from like the main story of the game. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, the world's gonna end, but I'm gonna do all this other stuff first. It's like Fallout 4. It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to go and save my son. But
let's
I'm
put
gonna
that
do
on
all
hold.
this other shit. Yeah, I don't give a shit
Yeah,
about
but
that. I'm
first,
gonna go and do this other shit.
first of all, I'm gonna completely neglect the fact that my son could be alive or dead, and
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
So,
have
like-
sex with a fucking person called Kate or whatever,
Whatever.
Piper.
Yeah,
Whatever
whatever the fucking
followers
name
now.
is. Yeah. So like, if they do it in Cyberpunk where the main quest is really long, but a lot of the side quests like factor into it, maybe I can see that. But like, I don't know. It just sounds really odd. Because I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see. It's hard to gauge it without actually playing it, isn't it? Really, you can't really say too much on it because we don't really know how it's gonna work. No, which obviously I'm really excited. I've been waiting for this game since when they first, like literally, I was there when the
Dan
first
was
fucking
there
trailer came
before
out.
any of us, to be
Like
honest.
literally, I can't even remember. I think it was like 2013 or something. The first teaser came out.
I learned
So,
about
yeah.
it around the time like Blade Runner 2049 got announced, and then I learned about what Cyberpunk was, and then I saw this, and I was like, oh.
I only heard. I think it was like the E3 before the infamous Keanu Reeves
Yeah.
fucking meme. It
You're
was like the
breathtaking.
year before that when they did the
You're a man.
you know the trailer where he's like on the train in the sick you know the sick.
You're breathtaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was the first trailer I saw and I was just instantly in love. I was like, that game is
I love
so
the thing
my
is,
game.
especially like I love sci-fi and I love sci-fi like that. That's in the distant future. You got like flying
Yeah.
cars and shit everywhere.
It's a
and
weird-
kind of that
this is a weird
neon vibes.
Thought I feel like we can all agree with, but like I kind of do like living in a cyberpunk kind of future. I know it's a depressing
mean-
future and it doesn't make our planet look great, but at the same time, it's like I kind of like this.
I mean, I can see like I can see why like you'd want to live there. Obviously, yeah, for sure. Because I always had a fascination about like cybernetics and all this. When I first played Black Ops 3, because obviously it's all about robot arms and blah blah, and
Yeah.
chips in your head. I just thought it was so cool. And I was like, oh my god, imagine if that was real. And then, like, obviously, Cyberpunk come in and are doing, they're not copying or anything, nowhere near, but they're doing, like, their own twist on and stuff like that, and it just looks so cool. I mean, I don't know, obviously, it's quite a, like, could you really go through with, like, a surgery that's basically removes all your fucking limbs and gives you metal ones? Like, I don't know if I
It's
could
kind
do
of
that.
like Deus
Would
Ex
you?
as
If
well, they kinda
someone
have the same
came-
thing.
If someone came to you, Liam, was like, we've got a new like science division, right? And you're one of the only people with this certain kind of DNA that we can make into like a human cyber, like human machine cross, like a cyborg. and like it will be painful for a week, but after that you're gonna have like super strength, super speed, like super intelligence, everything. Would you do it?
I mean,
Would you have to pay for it? Or would they pay you?
No, they'll pay you. They'll be like, 'cause it's obviously
Oh
like a
hell
new
yeah, I'd do it.
thing. They'd
I'll
pay
fucking
you
do
to
it.
do it.
it
Yeah, so
depends. It
Why would you
depends
not?
if like they are they sure, like what's the chances of the surgery like failing and like I die mid-op? Is there any chance of that? Me dying like
Looks
mid-op?
they say that they've identified that your DNA is one of like the best DNAs they can have to do that. Let's say, for argument's sake. So there's hardly any chance it's going to go wrong, and it's being done by professionals, and they'll pay you as long as you're like their poster boy for the company.
I mean, well, I mean, I probably would say yes at first.
Imagine your reflexes.
But obviously, depending, yeah, obviously you'd be turned into a cool. Literally, what you're proposing to me sounds just like a very cool like movie arc. Like, oh, I'm a guy who's been given cybernetic enhancements, untold riches, and to be this poster boy for a corporation. But what if, I don't know, what if they become corrupt? Or they already are, but obviously they're good liars. Yeah,
Probably
you
already
know.
are. Yeah.
Like most
And
big
then,
corporations,
you know,
anyway.
I take on a bloody vendetta on this company. Like, oh, you ruined my life. You took out my limbs. And, yeah,
Shouts out to
I mean, that'd
Nestle
be pretty
poisoning
cool.
African
Yeah.
children.
It's like,
Cool. Oh, what the fuck? Wait, why have I not heard of this?
Nestle is the evil corporation, mate.
No.
The CEO of Nestle was like, water should be a luxury.
Yikes.
Like, what the fuck?
Jesus.
Yeah.
What
Water
the
should
fuck?
be a paid-for luxury. That's what he said.
Rich people are on a completely different plane of existence. Me and Leah were talking about this the other day. We had a massive conversation about this.
Yeah, you were saying about like fucking conspiracy. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, I do like conspiracy theories, to be honest. I wouldn't say I'm a conspiracy theorist myself, but I just find it so fascinating.
Do you think that we live in a simulation?
Like,
A
I
lot
tell
of
you what,
people-
Not
would
really.
Not surprise me.
It.
It would not
don't.
surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise
I
me,
don't
but
feel
I don't
it,
think so.
but then it might
No,
be
I
so
think it's
advanced you
very-
don't
I think
feel
it's
it.
very... Yeah, I
I
think that's
well,
very
how do you
far-fetched.
know? That's the thing, boys, because they said,
Oh yeah.
and even like the smartest people have said that. So civilization, in like our way, will grow in a graph. So it gets, so the graph is going up and up and up, and then it just starts slowly flattening out. But as soon as you get to that flattening out part, that's the part where your civilization is like powerful enough to upload your brain, so you don't even need like your organic body anymore.
Upload.
So then
Sounds
technically
lit
when
to
you
me.
like upload your brain to the cloud or something, then you're living in a simulation.
That
So what's
reminds.
to say now that like
We haven't already done that.
we haven't done that like multiple times during
Yeah.
our like universe.
See, I
Okay.
just,
The
I love
universe's
conversations like this. It's so
existence.
fascinating. Like, imagine that.
We could have
Imagine
done that 10
we are
times.
There's a TV show that covers that in the new Prime series
Shout out
called
Elon.
Upload, which is by like the creator of The American Office, which is Greg Daniels, and it's literally like when you die, you can go to your afterlife can go up to this like world like called Upload. So like all your like memories and that. So you're you're alive, but in the afterlife, but on like a kind of like a
A cloud server kind of
yeah.
thing.
It's kind of weird, but
Oh
interesting.
god! Imagine
Mate,
being
even
on a,
I'm pretty
imagine
sure
being
Elon
on your
thinks we're in
consciousness
a
being on a cloud server
we're in a
ran by
simulation.
EA.
Or Ubisoft.
pay subscription.
Yeah.
Just gets randomly shut off.
Oh,
for no
you want to
reason.
live? This costs like $100 a month.
This
Your
server
family has to pay for it because obviously you're fucking dead.
is
Think
provided
about
by
it,
Tesco
you
Mobile.
could say
So,
that
Fallout
the
Village.
fact we haven't discovered like any like aliens or anything could be because we are in a simulation.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's like the
This,
fucking Rick and Morty episode.
this
Maybe
first
the aliens are the ones running the simulation.
Exactly.
This-
Yeah.
Maybe our whole human race was just a bunch of coding in a simulation made by highly advanced immortal alien
reckon
beings
that-
from another
Yo,
dimension.
this
Don't
would
like
be,
looking at our
I
penises,
think,
though.
These are
to
demons.
aliens. I think to aliens we would be like guinea pigs because we breed really fucking quick, and like we're pretty useless. We'd be good as like a slave species. I don't think we'd be any good for anything else.
The thing is, right, is when you think of aliens, what are you thinking of? Because alien to us could literally be anything. They could be on like a completely different plane of existence than a little green dude with some big fucking.
But then you
eyes.
think, Dan, where's the idea of why is that picture generalised
Yeah,
as an alien?
no, I know what you're saying. Like, it's got to
Well,
come
because
from
people have
somewhere.
seen it.
Yeah, it's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
No, I get what you're saying, but
It's like the most popular, like, well.
If you
Psychic.
show anyone on Earth that picture, they're gonna say, "Oh, it's an alien."
Yeah.
Because that's what they think it is.
yeah, but maybe that's a plan by
Dude, this
world
is
leaders.
this first
mislead you.
episode. This first
You know what? I
episode
would
got
love
so
to interview-
interesting. This first
Fucking Alec.
What? What did you say?
Right? You kind of. Oh no.
Did you say you'd love to interview Adolf Hitler? What you just said?
Actually-
Alex Jones!
Oh my God, Alex Jones.
Jesus, you turd.
Well, he uncovered.
I did
whole
not
thing
say-
a fraud!
of the
I didn't
thing.
say Adolf.
He uncovered the whole thing of the global elite meet up and go to the forest and burn.
Do some weird
statues and-
shit.
Yeah, like
What do I
cultist
do, Lord?
shit.
Have
That's
you
the thing,
guys
it's
actually
like,
seen
he
that?
literally
Louis and Kieran?
exposed
I'm
Have
gonna
you
be
seen that?
honest. I'm kind of retarded.
Like people think
No,
Alex
have you
Jones is
seen
just some
that?
crazy guy. Have you actually seen that? Like he actually snuck to this this forest where like people like Hillary Clinton and all these people were going.
Donald Trump.
And they were, and all these people,
everyone.
they were literally just going there in a massive cult, like burning statues and praying.
They're all
to
wearing like
shit.
robes or
Yeah.
they're wearing nothing, and you're
it was
encouraged to
real.
like just piss and shit on the floor and like. That's the thing. There was this
No!
conspiracy theory. Then Alex Jones literally went, and he discovered the whole thing. Like, but no one talks about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Oh.
definitely getting iced by someone. Like, we're gonna fucking die.
Debate, cut
Hitman
that out
Agent
now.
47, mate. He's a
Um,
real guy. Agent 47. He's just
Not.
got a Barrett 50 cal just aiming at your head right now, mate. Don't even know it. Blows your fucking brains out.
Oh, so as for this podcast, what I
Do
say
you want
with
to change
the-
the subject?
Oh, yeah. No, I couldn't say anything. Yeah. With this podcast, what we plan to do with the Betatalk Podcast, at the moment we're going to be trying to release episodes kind of like monthly, and then gradually as we have like special guests on, we'll have other members of the Beta House crew on here, and like episodes we'll have more topics to talk about, and then it can gradually go from monthly to fortnightly to weekly. Maybe not daily, because fuck doing a podcast every day. But but hopefully, depending on how things go and what we could do to make the podcast sound better, more entertaining, and that.
Oh!
With the whole aliens in Area 51 shit that we just talked about, and I'm just like, this podcast, this episode went from like talking about like COVID-19 and this to some deep shit's going on here.
COVID-19 was invented by the
Here's
Chinese
what-
government. It's a lie.
Well, we'll
It's
get
a
on.
lie.
We'll get on to that with the next episodes.
Yeah, it'd be a special episode.
Like spills.
Conspiracy
I'm gonna
episode,
find
hell
some.
yeah.
I'm gonna find some royalty-free creepypasta music to go along with it. Oh.
You just got some big brain energy people in here. We're gonna start talking about this shit. So
No, we're gonna get We're gonna get like kidnapped. Or
we're
something
gonna
like
get
that
assassinated.
already.
Donald Trump's just gonna come up to us and be like, hey, we've ruined many lives. And we're just like, oh, what the fuck is going on?
Kanye 2020.
Actually, I
Just
want
kidding.
to. Actually, I do want to mention one more thing because this is a random thought I had in my head yesterday. So, with America's dealing with the COVID-19, probably the worst way you could ever imagine. I
Look at
kind of
Donald.
thought about it like when in
Fuck.
I love McDonald's, bro.
when in November
Sit
they'll
down.
have a new president, hopefully, depending on who it is, and like I just kind of thought this like really
Hopefully not Kanye.
weird. No, right, hold on, guys.
It won't be.
I had this movie idea that like it'd be a secret agent that has to go like it's a case of like the film Extraction that came out this year on Netflix. Like you have to go save someone from somewhere.
Is that the one with Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah, Grim's Headphones. It's really
very
good. It's really
Very
good.
good.
I really wish I mentioned it
I
earlier.
really loved that film.
Anyway, so basically, when this film gets talked about, like you don't hear like who he's saving, so it's like a reveal. And basically, who he has to save is Donald Trump, but not only it's Donald Trump, he's played by Donald Trump himself. So basically,
Come
the siege
along.
agents is like, for fuck's sake, gotta protect Donald Trump at all costs.
Yeah. Okay,
I can imagine.
For a second, I thought you were gonna say that the secret agent is played by Donald Trump.
No.
But he's saving Donald Trump as a character.
Yeah, that would be weird.
The secret agent.
Oh my
is
god,
played
you're
by
gonna save me. That's
I can't.
incredible.
It'd be like
Can
Operation.
I build a wall for China after this? Yeah, absolutely, you can.
It'd be like
Absolutely.
Operation What, and like it'd be him like having to avoid Donald Trump getting killed, and he's like, I have to protect him, even though like I couldn't care if he died, and it's like, bruh, like, why have I got to do this?
Just fucking kill.
All right, I think
Do it.
that's it. I think that's sort of wrapping up for the
I think
first
that was a very successful
episode of the first episode of the
Yeah, that
podcast.
was
I
very-
enjoyed myself.
I
Thank
enjoy-
you very
I
much. for
did.
having
We
me.
may have rambled
Yes,
on a
thanks
little
for having
bit
us,
about
bro.
stuff, to be fair. But that's how we are, and
Cut
hopefully,
it off before we get assassinated.
yeah.
You got-
Anyway,
People need to see the truth.
anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the first episode of the Betatalk Podcast. It's been me, Lewi, Dan, and Leo, and until next time, we will see you guys later. Bye.
Love you.
Bye. Bye.